Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for returning. Today we have a special, the July 4th special. As you know, it is the 249th birthday of the United States of America. And today we are going back to a very, very important time in history because, well, it's the reason we have our history. The American Revolution. We are in total war empire. Some love this game, some don't. I adore it. It's a great one. I'm going to turn the music down just a little tiny bit just to help a little better. But today we have an incredible battle, an outnumbered and completely outflanked and outmatched American army here versus one of England's most, I must say, deadly armies of all time, led by none other, let's see if we can find him, Bannister Tarleton. He should be here somewhere. There he is. Tarleton's Light Dragoons, the British Legion, a very famous troop. Without doubt, one of the most iconic troops in all American Revolution. Bloody Band.
Prepare to charge!
Sir, we haven't been given that order.
Charge! Charge! Havington. Damn him! Damn that man!
Well, will Bloody Band meet his fate today in 1781 against a band of rebels led by none other than Daniel Morgan himself? Daniel Morgan, knowing he is outflanked and completely outnumbered, is going against actually two British armies. The reserve fleet on the right flank of the map, of the British side, and Tarleton's main force. Tarleton's main force is spearheaded by a lot of British regulars, pretty intense line infantry. He also has, and I believe, yes, lots of grenadiers, Furgers, Highlanders, and the 42nd Black Watch are in the battle. He also has two horse artillery, 6-pounders, nothing crazy, but the Americans lack that. The American front, well, not great. Daniel Morgan has own provisional rifles, very well accurate, very good soldiers. Mainline, Minutemen. This is the backbone of the United States military. This is all they could muster. But Minutemen stand no chance against a British Legion. However, there is a bit of a tactic Daniel Morgan is in place. In the very rear, we have some American standards. American standard infantry, a very elite, well, I wouldn't say elite, but some are, such as the 1st Maryland. These guys are trained to go toe-in-toe with the British line. Knowing he's outnumbered, Daniel Morgan can only do one thing, and he has a great tactic. Moving his militia up and hoping he can confuse the British. Remember, Bannister Tarleton is known for his intensive strategy. He always wants to chase. He usually is too aggressive. Morgan knows his general. Will be able to defeat him? Let's find out today, because we're going to recreate this battle. And here it is. The American army is marching forward. Some light infantry, some actual standards on the right side of the Minutemen line. If you didn't know, the right flank or the right side of the line was usually the strongest, according to British doctrine. Many American leaders did follow that, as well as Nathaniel Greene, Daniel Morgan, etc. But looks like the Americans are going to make their first stand or first line here. They like the position, the open field, and they want to harass the British line infantry. Morgan placed some spiked here to prevent a cavalry charge. He's going to just wait for that British line just to come up. The redcoats, I mean, scary looking things off in the distance. The first shots have been fired by the provisional rifles, very accurate shots. They're going to snipe, oh well, very effectively snipe some of this British line. Probably targeting officers was the tactic. Even though they're at range, it won't take long for the British to march into their range. You can't, Minutemen can be good, but they have no chance against a professional British line. And Daniel Morgan knows that. Ooh, a little cavalry charge here. Dragoons have actually deployed. Looks like the Americans are going to deploy a square formation to counter that. Some cavalry movements like Tarleton strung in line. Tarleton just got shot at. As I said, Tarleton's quite an aggressive general. This is to be expected. But now it looks like the line is finally starting to advance. The British line is now in range of the rifles. And it's only a matter of time before he retreats these rifles. There he goes. Now the Minutemen are going against literally the finest soldiers on earth, and they're firing shots right into the line. They are going toe-to-toe with the best because they believe in independence. Pretty incredible sight here. Ooh, nice volley there. That was pretty good. British are trying to hurry up and get in formation. Here's some grenadiers trained in melee. They're sniping and they are doing a lot of damage. Oh, here comes the British line almost fully ready for a volley. You can see, I mean, look at this. Oh man, the amount of guys dropping in the back is crazy. The Minutemen are taking, look at this. Just how many of them are just dropping. They stand no chance, and they're going to retreat them back. These Minutemen stand no chance. Just like that, the British have pretty much routed the first line. And they are going to chase after this line. Oh, we might get a regimental horse back here. Uh-oh. This ain't good. Oh, no. Yeah, running right into the rear of those Minutemen. They'll surely break. And, you know, if you're Tarleton, you're probably loving what you're seeing. You just broke the enemy line. Back here somewhere. But just like that, the Minutemen line is now broken. British forces will continue moving up. And these Minutemen are just getting chopped up right now. I mean, hey, they just don't serve a chance. But remember what Daniel Morgan had in place. The professional line in the back. He's going to retreat his Minutemen. He's going to hold fast against this British line. This cavalry's getting shot at by some snipers. Those are actually the Morgan's provisional rifles that are actually... Oh, grenades! Look, grenades! Saw a few grenades getting thrown. Americans going to send a little sally out of forces up here past the line. And here it is. The British have now pretty much caught themselves in a trap because the American Minutemen has retreated back towards behind the line, and they're on this hill. They can shoot downwards. It's a pretty ingenious tactic, actually. Very similar to the Battle of Cowpens. If you wrote that one. The British will try to reorganize this line because they know now they're actually outnumbered, but they still have more equal quality, you can say. Here comes the British line. They're going to go straight into it. Ooh, that's not a good look. They're going to get as close as they can. Forcing them up. Oh my God, but another volley hits with the face. Look how many Americans. They're going to try to charge the line. They get kind of scared. Nice raw artillery barrage there. The Minuteman point of view is awesome looking here. Cavalry charge. That was a pretty good one too. These guys are just glitching out right here.
Infantry reserve into the center.
But my lord, you've taken the field.
Now we should take their spirits. Send the entire battalion over that hill and crush them.
Here comes some of the best melee infantry of the game here. These grenadiers, they're going to do a lot of damage. Surely they're going to charge the line. Yep, there's the melee. That was a good expect. And they're going to do a lot of damage to that line. Some more coming in here too. Oh, crazy volley by Tarleton here. Tarleton is kind of... He now knows he fell into a trap. He's going to try to come up here to rally his troops, try to get... show he's in the fight too, get his troops back in line, but they're disorganized. I mean, look at this. They're in such a horrible formation. And honestly, this was not too uncommon. I mean, the Americans would target officers. Tarleton's getting shot at from the enemy line. Pretty intense melee fight right here. It looks like the Americans are just winning this. I mean, pretty one-sided right now. Nice volley in that Black Watch. I want to make you focus on over here. There's a huge reinforcements, a huge amount of reinforcements the British do have. So this is not Tarleton's only soldier. But just like that, look, the Grenadiers were pushed back, and they stand no chance against all these, the Minutemen in the rear and the line in the front. They're just getting shot up. The Black Watch is disorganized. They don't know where to go. I mean, this is what the battlefield looks like right now. The American line is pretty much snaking around. We'll go turn the flags on so we get a better idea. This is now pretty much the line here. The British are completely unorganized. They have just, I mean, they had the battle won here, but they underestimated the American defense. Now it's up to the British reinforcements, which are quite numerous and, once again, very elite. Normal line infantry. Pretty much so much better than a Minuteman force, which is this army pretty much is. They're going to do their best. They're going to play more defensively now, I mean, because they saw what the American line is capable of. You can see the casualties on the ground. I mean, it's pretty one-sided here. They're getting shot in the back to make matters worse. The Americans did indeed hold now. That was their first challenge. They got another one. Here comes the remnants of Tarleton's force trying to regroup and do some more damage to the line. They're going to march back up. They're going to carry on the struggle. Oh, but the 1st Maryland a nice volley into the line. That might even break them. Whew. They are getting destroyed. 1st Maryland, iconic. Look at their uniform. It's so cool. Line infantry, pretty cool. Where is my boys? The Minutemen. I mean, these are the backbone of them, as I mentioned earlier. These are what won us. This is what won our independence. We have one singular British line here. I don't know how long it's going to hold. They're mainly just here to absorb the impact as the reinforcements set up a defensive line, which is happening right now. Pretty cool marching right here. And this guy's the best job in the world. The Americans are now going to move off this hill. They, I mean, completely changed the tide of this battle. They were outnumbered 2-1. Now it's pretty even odds. So we'll keep marching down. Wow, this is a really, oh, this is Ferguson's riflemen. Pretty elite unit here. They do not have bayonets. If I'm not mistaken, this unit actually saw its demise on the Battle of Kings Mountain. I could be wrong on that one. Please fact check me, but they're about to see their demise right here. Yeah, you might want to retreat, man. That's a lot of American line about to just... Oh, this is going to be really bad for these guys. Oh no. Get him 1st Maryland. Come on, give him everything you got. Boom. Oh my god, I might wipe this entire unit. But you see here, look at here, the British line is now forming up. It must be kind of nerve-wracking to see these elite troops retreat back, broken and bloodied up like this, but these guys are brave, they're elite, they're British. They're well trained, they're going to hold this line. They might be feeling good, they might, because they're fresher. These guys haven't seen in combat yet. And they're probably about equal strength, so that in theory they do have an advantage. They're going to move up here pretty quickly. They want to salvage the operation. We got some cavalry on the right and left flanks of them. Pretty healthy unit here. Over here we just got a little bit of cavalry engagement here, just kind of mopping up what was left of this regiment, that cavalry regiment. But now we got the main line. This is a huge threat here for the Americans. And they are forming up quickly. Dragoons getting off their horses to line up. The Americans are now moving up. Minutemen still in the rear. The line infantry also in the rear. They're going to use this as the reserves. Looks like the riflemen might get a nice hill position here. We shall see. But it looks like here the British really want. They're forcing these guys to stop. We're going to see a very elite line battle here. Artillery's bouncing off. Looks like the British have fired the first shots into this line. Very good volley, looks like. Ooh. They're just going to continue to trade fire. But more British reinforcements are coming up here. The right flank, they're going against mainly Minutemen and weak line infantry. These guys the British could seriously break these guys if they wanted to. The center is pretty even. The left flank looks more so towards the Americans' favor. The American line's taking some hits here, but they're still inflicting lots of damage on that British. And they are fighting for that for their rights right now, man. This is awesome. Another nice volley. The Americans have a bit of a flanking position here, but this cavalry is going to really mess this part up. They might retreat these guys back, but they have a nice little just shooting this line. The British line's starting to panic. The Black Watch will try to deal with that. And look, 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 the British found a gap in the American line. They're going to take advantage of this. Yeah, they're going to move the infantry. And Daniel Morgan is now pretty much at threat of an infantry here. And you know what? Daniel Morgan's going to charge in. Heroic as he can be.
No retreat! Hold the line! Hold the line!
Heroic as he can be. He gets shot face first, but he's in it anyways. He doesn't care. How must that feel, being an American team, general fighting on the line with you? But, oh my gosh, it's chaos here. The British have gone through the gap. There's a huge melee right here. The Americans outnumbered. Cavalry in the rear, that's American cavalry. The Americans are now fighting a huge wave of redcoats here on the right. Looks like Daniel Morgan's still in the fight. He's got more reinforcements. He's going to get out of there. American cavalry should come in here and help clean it up here. Here it comes. Nice volley in the back of these line. That's going to take care of that middle push. The line infantry still has to deal with this British though, but the right flank over here, it's a mess. I mean, that line, the American line has, the first main line's pretty much collapsed. It's down to 60 men. It looks like some more British dragoons are going to be in here. Now the chaos of battle is ensuring. Both sides are just kind of unorganized. And they're in a huge melee right now. But Daniel Morgan stands firm in the back. We still got some line in the back of the Americans. The British do not have many reserves left. This is pretty much their full charge. And the left flank, they seem to have lost, actually. The Minutemen held. The battle is still uncertain in the middle. It looks like the British might actually have an advantage here. Oh, the British starting to break. Those American cavalry really did kind of hamper their attack there. Or hinder their attack there. And my goodness, just from this, the British line is in complete rout right now. Look at this. Rout. Unorganized, unorganized. There just is a complete collapse. The American line's not organized, but it's holding. The British is getting shot in the back. It's over. This battle is completely over. A completely one-sided battle has now turned to the American favor. And the Americans are now just going to start mopping up these troops up here. We got one regiment of horse. That's not going to last long. And here we go. Here comes the cavalry charge into cavalry. And they got infantry back too. I mean, my goodness, just like that. This battle started off, the Americans should have had no chance. The British had literally twice the troops, better troops for the most part, but just like a very famous battle in American history, 1781, led also by Daniel Morgan. Militia in the front, pretend to run away. Tarleton takes the bait, goes into it, finds an elite American line, and his force just crumbles. Tactics will always beat numbers. It's just a truth. And just like that, looks like the British general is dead. And Tarleton is also fleeing. This is a complete disaster for the British. We got one little group holding out here, and they're going to retreat as well. Shot in the back. They might be we might lose all these guys. So they just got a range. And that should be it, folks. That would be an incredible American victory here at Cowpens. Well, not Cowpens, but we're replicating the Battle of Cowpens a little bit. But that's it, my friends. As you see here, just the numbers here. I mean, 2,000 versus 1,000, 2,100 killed, and the numbers killed very low. Not very good. General's bodyguard had 13. Who had the most? 326. 300 and... Unbelievable. Well, that is going to do it, folks. That is Empire Total War. That is the American Revolution. That is the July 4th special. Happy 4th of July. And just remember, it wasn't always easy to get to this point, but we're celebrating 249 years, and that's pretty good. Next year is going to be a big one. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment more if you like it. I'll see you in the next one.
World of tyrants beneath this western sky, we formed a new dominion, a land of liberty. The world shall own, we're masters here, then hasten on the day. Huzzah, 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 huzzah for free America.